Hey everybody, welcome back here to A Place to Heal. If you've never been here before, my name is Marie, and I'm now going to try my damnedest to give you health information and keep it under 10 minutes if I can. If you're interested in any of my creations or learning more about me, you can always go to aplacetoheal.store. You can get consultations there, all my products and everything. All information is there. Okay, so today, if you signed up for my newsletter, you can also sign up for the newsletter there. You receive the newsletter letting you know about the different types of waters. So let's get into this. Because once upon a time, I believed that all waters were created equal. That could not have been the furthest thing from the truth. I got to a point where water was so confusing for me that I steered away from it. I didn't want to get into conversations about water. I didn't want to deal with water. No water. A decade on down the road, I started getting into water. And I was a distilled water drinker. Okay, so I found out that was, to me, that's how I started, was with distilled water. And let me tell you, the amount of water out there there's spring, distilled, reverse osmosis, alkaline, mineral, purified, deionized, artesian, stream, filtered, well water, and even black water is available. Okay. It was just, it was like, it was too much for me. I just dealt with distilled. Okay. Because I knew that it was good for my detox. So I did distilled water until I found out, because my train of thought was, if it's good for babies, it's good for me. So I started drinking distilled water until I found out that it has absolutely no minerals in it. And the reason that they give it to babies is because it's a flat base in order to add the formulas into the water to put in the minerals. Okay, so if you're a person who's drinking distilled water, you absolutely have to put minerals in. Okay, so we urinate the minerals out. You got to put them in, especially if you're drinking distilled water. So I gave up on distilled water. Now, the only thing that I do use distilled water now is for my detoxes, my nasal rinsing, and my enemas. That is it. That is all I use distilled water for. So I switched over to spring water thinking I'm going to do so much better here. And I was drinking spring water for about 2 years. And I actually started talking with another naturopath who told me, you need to get off the spring water. And I was like, wait, isn't spring water exceptional? He's like, no. He says, I have a lot of people in my office who come in because they have issues with high calcium levels and kidney problems from drinking too much spring water, especially if you're one of those people that likes to chug. Okay, so spring water contains magnesium, but it also contains calcium. So the more of it you drink, you are able to take up your calcium to a point where it actually becomes problematic, and you can end up with hypercalcemia, okay, which is too much calcium in the blood, especially if you're a person who has issues with their kidneys. And 90% of the population have no idea that they have issues with their kidneys. So it's very easy to build up that calcium, and then you have problems, okay, if you're constantly drinking spring water. Another thing that I've come to notice with my clients is the pH water. People are drinking this extremely high pH water thinking that I'm going to alkaline my body. And then and just like there's acidosis where your body is too acidic, it can also be too alkaline. Okay, so they're starting to have problems with that. I have like 2 or 3 clients that have problems because of drinking the high pH water and their body becoming too alkaline. And then when they go into the doctor, they're testing and their alkaline levels are through the roof. Okay, so I have since switched to reverse osmosis. I switched my family. I switched my pets. And we've been on reverse osmosis now, I think like 8 years, never had a problem. Okay, so I'm going to stick with reverse osmosis. Okay, except for, like I said, detoxes, nasal rinses, stuff like that. I was recently introduced to structured water. You can actually go back on my videos and you can watch that. Okay, there's a lot of chemists calling BS on unstructured water. There's a cheap little thing that you can get on Amazon. And it's underneath that video where you can actually make your own structured water at home. There's a bunch of ways that you can make structured water, even by running it through marbles. So whatever fits your budget, but that little contraption that I posted underneath that video is actually pretty cheap. I don't know how long it's going to stay that cheap, but so a lot of people are calling BS on that, especially the chemist, and they're saying it's not true. But here's what I can tell you. I donate blood every 3 months. And when I wasn't doing structured water, I was having severe aftermath after I donated, because they take out the blood. It has all the water in it and everything else. And they say that blood, that water that's in that blood is H3O3, not H2O2. So when I was donating blood, I was going through hell afterwards. I mean, I was having some severe dehydration and dizziness and electrolytes imbalances, which was taking me a while to kick back from. But after doing the structured water, man, I just breezed through it. It's like nothing. So, okay, so this video today is recently I was introduced to hydrogen water. Okay, so this is basically the little tool I use. Some of these are really expensive. Some of the machines are really expensive, but this one, the portable one, very inexpensive. Not only that, but it can completely be taken apart so you can wash it real easy. Then it has the lights at the bottom. Okay, and then all you do is you pour in your water. Okay. Usually up to that line. You're going to put on your lid. My lid is pretty destroyed. That's how long I've been using this. And then all you do is you click the little button. Okay. And the little button, in a minute or two, you're going to see all the little bubbles start coming up from the bottom. So it starts hydrogenizing your water. So while that is going on, I'm going to put it right here. I want to read you some stuff that I came across, because this was introduced to me by a fellow trainer. And he says, if you're not drinking this water when you are training, you are missing out. I could actually not believe, I was blown away, literally blown away. The amount of exercise and the hardcore exercise that you can do and not have any recovery time is insane with this water. It's a natural antioxidant shield, neutralizing harmful ROS, reactive oxygen species, from workouts to cut inflammation, oxidative stress, and fatigue, which is perfect for anyone focusing on joint health, energy, and anti-aging. When you mix this type of water while exercising, you get a supercharged recovery that can't be beat. It slashes lactic acid buildup and acidosis during high intensity sessions, speeding up muscle repair and reducing soreness I'm talking better than anything I have ever seen before. Okay, studies are showing female soccer players with lower inflammation markers just after 2 months of hydro and training. And they saw 1 to 3% gains in oxygen power and lung efficiency. In short sprints and runs, it even improved exhaustion and helping you push through your workouts. It also activates NRF2 pathways to amp up antioxidant. Blah, blah, blah. See, this is the backlash of trying to speed up and keep it under 10 minutes. And it also helps with the mitochondria. It's great for arthritis-free joints, flare-up, you name it. So the best thing to do is you want to either drink it post-exercise before you go in there and work out, or you want to drink it while you are working out. You can see it's still going. See, now you can see all the little bubbles in there. Okay, so while it's doing its thing, it only takes a few minutes. It takes, I think, about 3 minutes for it to completely do its thing, and then it's ready to go. Okay, now that's for the athletes. Beep, beep, it's done. So that's for the athletes. But what about the common folk? Okay, so if you have arthritis, joint pain, all of this stuff, brain fog, all this stuff, This water is a game changer. Game changer. Has changed my workouts. You know, I'm a pretty hardcore leg worker. I get in there and man, do I push my legs to the point where anybody at my gym can tell you that I kind of like limp out, because I'm one of those. I love pushing my legs. And this stuff, the recovery, nothing. Normally the next day I would have problems getting out of my car, and I sometimes I would have lower back pain, nothing. So if I could give you some advice, get yourself one. This is one of the easiest ways to heal, and one of the best things that you can do for somebody that is sick and wants something simple. These things are really cheap right now. So, and this is not a sales pitch. If you can afford it, get two. Because here's why. Number one, you know they're going to jump up in price. The minute this information starts getting out, they're going to take them up to $40, $50. Okay, so you might as well get two for less than what they're going to charge you later on. And because it's glass, you know, if you ever unscrew it and you're cleaning it and the glass happens to break, you have a backup, okay, just in case. So if you're just starting out, this is as much as you want to drink, maybe half of this, okay? Do a little bit at a time. Don't drink 8 glasses of this a day, because trust me, that's not going to be bueno. You're going to have a little bit of backlash, okay? Because this gets into your cells. It gets into everything else. So this is a water that heals. I love it. This is like my new little toy. I love it. And if you want, like I said, get two. Get two, because if not, you're going to be coming back and you're going to go, damn, I should have listened to her and should have gotten them when they were that cheap, right? I'm going to put the link underneath the video. I'm actually going to add 3 links. Try not to click on the first one, click on the second, click on the third. Don't overwhelm just one vendor, because if you do, they're going to know there's a video out there on this and they're going to jack up the price. So I'll even put 4 or 5 links. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of different links. Okay, click on a different one. That way you're all buying from different people and they're all cheap. Okay, and don't overwhelm one and have the prices go up. All right, we're going into the holidays. Join me next Friday. We're doing my favorite things. That's my long video where I introduce you to a bunch of products that changed my life this year. And be sure to join me and Rosie every single Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time right here on YouTube. See you next week. Stay happy, and I'm going to keep you healthy. I'm going to try in under 10 minutes. I'm really trying, guys.